Good afternoon. I'm speaking with Dr. Baskara Wardaya of the Society of Jesus, lecturer in history and director of the Center for Democracy and Human Rights at Universitas Sanata Dharma in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. Father Wardaya was one of the participants in the Democracy, Culture, and Catholicism International Research Project and one of the contributors to the volume Democracy, Culture, Catholicism Voices from Four Continents. His contribution to the volume is titled Catholics in Indonesia and the Struggle for Democracy. Father Wardaya, greetings.
Greetings, John. It's nice to talk to you and to see you again, even though it's only virtually.
Yes, and we
Yeah.
appreciate you joining us so late in the day, your time.
Okay. No problem. No problem.
Great.
Happy to do it.
Excellent. So we have a couple questions that we wanted to ask you and to get your take on both the project and the publication. And so the first question is, what was your experience of the Democracy, Culture, and Catholicism International Research Project, the project that led to this publication? How do you feel that your participation in the project impacted its outcome, and how did the project itself impact you and your work?
Well, first of all, I'm very, very grateful to be part of this great project, international project that involved a lot of people from different continents, Asia, America, and Europe. So I'm very happy to be part of the project. That's number one, and number two, thanks to the project, I become more knowledgeable about my own country and the history of my country, especially related to Catholicism and democracy, and also culture, of course. But because of the research project and writing, I had to talk to people, read books and things like that, and because of that, then I know more about the history of my own country, the history of my faith, the Catholic faith in Indonesia. But then during the seminar in Rome, I also learned a lot from other countries on a similar topic, especially in Lithuania, in the US, and also in Peru. And how do I feel about this participation and impacted in its outcome and etc. Well, again, this is like twofold project for me, John. Number one is, again, on the one hand, it enriches me with knowledge of my own country, especially the topics that I work on, but also the topics that my other Indonesian, my fellow Indonesians also doing it, like Father Budi Susanto, Father Paulus Wiryono, and Mrs. Ninik Yudianti. I also learned about that, and Novita Dewi. I learned from there, and I know more about the history of my own country, and especially the church in Indonesia. But at the same time, I put this knowledge about Indonesia in a broader context, especially in the context of Latin America, North America, but also with Europe, especially with Eastern European countries.
Mhm. Excellent. Great. Well, thank you very much. That's
Okay.
wonderful. So let me ask you another question.
Sure.
Um, what impact do you think, or do you hope perhaps, this publication will have within the disciplines of history, of cultural studies, and perhaps even Jesuit studies? And more broadly, what impact do you think or hope that this publication will have academically and or culturally in Indonesia?
Well, since the book was more or less just recently published and only probably privately read by us, the contributors,
Mm-hmm.
I think there is no real impact yet of the book and its publication.
Mm-hmm.
The impact will happen, I think, when we do something about the book, try to share it with others. In my case, especially in Indonesia, like having book discussion or something like that, either within the church community, the Catholic community, or also within a broader um, you know broader circle in Indonesia, like involving people from other faiths also in Indonesia. And so that's my hope that the book doesn't stop here, doesn't stop in the library's bookshelves, but will be something that people will keep discussing about the church and the life of the church in Indonesia, but B, will help people to put the life of the church in Indonesia within a broader context. That's my hope.
Excellent. That's wonderful. And do you sort of anticipate being able to do this in the classroom as well?
Yes, in the classroom, maybe it's a little bit difficult because now the government is very strict on curriculum and things like that.
Hmm.
Even if we do it, probably just a little bit here, a little bit there, but there's no like special subject
Hmm.
on this. But then outside the classroom, I think we can gather more people to talk about this, like at the university, but also maybe in like church forums in the parishes or other institutes. I think we can do that.
Wonderful. Great. All right.
Yes.
Well, uh, third and final question for you. Um, how do you think that this publication will help further connect the Universitas Sanata Dharma to the wider transnational community of institutes of Jesuit higher education? What do you hope this connection will bring about for you, for your work, for the university, for the religious order of the Society of Jesus, and for the country of Indonesia?
There are three things that I have in mind. Number one, the book itself has a very strong international dimension in terms that in a sense that the contributors come from different parts of the world, especially those four countries. So by reading the book itself, you you will learn a lot about Catholic faith in these countries, the four countries. That's number one. Number two, if you can have public discussion about the book, that would be even better because you will know and you will be able to discuss with others about these issues, not just for yourself, but also talking with others. So, like within Indonesia, say for instance, if we hold a forum to talk about this book in Indonesia, I think that would be wonderful, so that people will know about those topics related to Indonesia, but also topics that are related to the church in other countries. That's point number two. Point number three, I think it would be even better if somehow, uh, say for instance, like in Indonesia, we have speakers not only from Indonesia but also those contributors who might happen to be in Indonesia or something, so we can talk about it. And that is very important because that way we will be reminded that Jesuit system of education is a very international system. It's a great tradition, and it is shared by people from different countries, so that we can learn from each other. And that way, this book can be like a meeting point, an excuse or a reason for people from these countries to meet with each other. And I think that's very important, especially with regard to the fact that the Society of Jesus is international institution. It's international endeavor. It's also in international collaboration.
Hmm. Wonderful. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Father Wardaya. This has been very interesting, and I really want to thank you again for the time you have taken to reflect on these questions and to offer us your insights from your perspective as a Jesuit, as a scholar, and as a citizen of Indonesia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, John. Thank
All
you.
right.
It's nice talking to you. Yeah.
You as well. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye, John.